stitches. Welcome to my channel. This is a channel all about cross stitch. You're rarely going to see anything else. So if you're here for cross stitch, great. If you stumbled on my channel for some random reason and you're interested in cross stitch, why not stick around, learn some more. Yeah. I've been doing Flosstube for about 6 years now, and this is never, ever any easier. Yeah. I didn't make any notes, so I'm just gonna try to get this done as efficiently as possible. And, yeah. So, one of the things that I've been trying to do is show you something from my bin of shame. This is something from the bin of shame, and I will talk more about it later. That is Peacock, Majestic Peacock by Teresa Wentzler. I'll show you a close-up in a bit. Yeah, so I don't have any finishes that I can recall. It's been 3 weeks. I'm sure nothing is finished in 3 weeks. In my experience, things stretch out beyond a year, regardless of the size. So, anyways, it may be that she's going to start complaining right away. I did have her outside already, and she's had her medication, but Khaleesi is chilling in here with me, as she usually does. Okay, so yeah, I don't think I have any finishes to show you. I have too many whips to show you because it's been 3 weeks since my last video. Wasn't that an exciting announcement? So I have news on that front too. Yeah, I'm just kind of lining everything up here so that I show them in kind of the order that I've stitched them since I last saw you. They may not be exactly right. Yeah, where do we start? Well, I guess we'll start with this one. I worked on this one in the beginning of the month, and nothing is unzipped, so you're going to get the zip. This is one that I would like to get finished pretty soon, and there is kind of a deadline. So, yeah. This one is Cranberry and Pines stocking for my son-in-law, and this is being stitched on the called for fabric with the called for threads. Here's where it was when you last saw it. And this is where we're at now. And I'm honestly not sure, because it's been over 2 weeks since I picked this up. But I know that would probably be the newest tree, and some random little ones in there. It begins. Does she only do that when I say No. Okay. I believe that's 28 count. Antique white Lugana. Let me take care of her, and I will look that up and be right back. Okay, I have a carpet in here that makes it hard to hold the chair nicely. So, where were we? Yes, I showed you one project. That one, okay. Yes, I was going to get details. It was started in November of 2023, and it is stitched on 28 count platinum cashel linen, and that was up to there. So as you can see, getting pretty close to having that done. Just this is left. So yeah, it's getting there. I hope I can get it done by the deadline. Deadline has moved up a little bit, so we'll see. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's just the way it is. So that's the first stocking that I've been working on. In all my whips, I think there's only 2 stockings. So, and I am trying to get dedicated time onto both of them because they're for other people. I don't have a set deadline, but the sooner I get that done, the sooner I can just enjoy stitching for me. And I do enjoy stitching for others as well, but pressure. Okay, so the next one I'm going to show you, I think I did good. If I was to grade myself on how good I did, I think I would give myself a B+ for effort, because I really didn't push myself to pick it up. So I could have done better, but I'll give myself a B+. And of course, I'll give myself an A+ for the stitching, because it's pretty good. This is Comet by Nora Corbett. So I'm going to put up a side by side here so you can see why I'm happy. And I got quite a bit done. I did 4 days worth of stitching. I don't think that's not like 3 hours worth. That some of those days might have just been a couple of lengths of thread, but this one was woefully behind compared to the rest. So I think it is pretty much on par with the few that are remaining. Couple of stitches left here and there, lots of beads. It's always the beads that get me. It's always the beads that get me. I love the way it looks at the end, but yeah, and right now my shoulder blade is so sore. There's no way I would be sitting hunched over a table beading. So yeah, that's only been for a couple days though. It's not a long-term thing. Okay, so what else are we going to show you? Let's see. Well, let's show you this. Was my next, well, this is the other stocking that I'm trying to get some good stitching time in on. And this is the Sled Stocking by Dimensions Gold Collection. That's what it will look like. And where it was when you last saw it And here's where we're at now. I think this is fantastic progress. And yeah, I would give myself an A+ for effort and ambition and stitches. Well, okay, here's where I would give myself a B. Just a regular B for some of the stitches. Because the really thick stitches, well, okay, the stitches themselves are really good. It's just the effort that has to go into them makes me want to give it a lower grade. But this is the edge. This is the edge of the stocking. So this is just a lot of fill-in in this side here. There's 3 geese here, or ducks, and the tree that's there is backstitched. You can't even tell on there, but yeah. So I think I'm going to give myself, how am I going to do this? I'm just going to keep giving myself A+. Just because I picked it up, I fixed my fabric issue by washing this fabric, and it's enjoyable to work on again. And so if it's sitting right beside my chair, it's the one I'm picking up, and I have no problem working on it. With this, because I have a magnifying glass, I can not enlarge the pattern, but I can see the pattern much better. I have the original, I have a working copy, held on with magnets, and the original copy right beside me so that I can refer to it for the colors and such. And I am going to send in a picture to Simplicity because I've heard that they will send you a PDF if you prove that you have a kit. So I will be doing that, and I believe Amy from Mimi Stitchery will be doing that as well because she's also working on a stocking. Another one that's on my wish list, but not in my collection. Okay. This next one, I did not give it nearly enough love. I don't even know if it's worth showing. I will be taking it back downstairs though because I only worked on it for the one day, and I would love to get more time into it and see really good progress. This is, the picture is in here. This is Cassiopeia by, look at that. How many times have I done that? It's always this one too. There it is. Cassiopeia by Nora Corbett. And here's where it was when you last saw it. And here's where we are now. This is stitched on 32 count. I can never remember this one. And it's by Picture This Plus, I'm sure. Zephyr, is it? Dawn, D-A-W-N, Dawn, Belfast Linen by Picture This Plus. I don't know why I have a rough time remembering that one. Maybe because to me Dawn is like pale blue. Anyways, this is really dark green that it's on, and I was worried that the colors wouldn't show up, but I think that they show up bright enough that it almost makes her look luminescent on a dark sky. It makes sense to me, but anyways, yeah, not a whole lot of love got into this one. I think it was only one day, you know, a couple hours, and it was this border here. So this one will be going back downstairs. And the work project. The project that I work on my lunch breaks is currently well suited by ink circles. Here's where it was when you last saw it. And here is where it's at now. So I've been working this direction here and filling in that heart there. Yeah, it's very close to being finished. And that would be the top part, because this is actually designed to be stitched 2 over 2 on 28 count. But I've had this scrap, well, I didn't have a scrap. I had a big piece of 25 count antique white Lugana, and I was chopping it up anyways. So that's how this ended up on this piece. There's also quite a chunk left over because I want to do a similar piece on the same fabric so that I can turn this into a biscornu. And yeah, this was that was test stitching for that right there. And this is where somebody had started a Heaven and Earth design and came up on it, sold the pattern, kit and all, kitted up and all. I bought it, and turns out I'm not going to be stitching that piece because it's a paper pattern, and yeah, no, digital, and yeah, digital so that I can work with Pattern Keeper. Well, okay, this neck thing is annoying. Okay, now I'm going to show this only because I worked on it very briefly. Well, okay. I worked on this for about an hour this morning. And all the stitches that I put in have to come out. So, yeah. This is the Fungi Cell by Living on the Rainbow. There is no other fungi book cell by anybody else. It's a ripoff. Living on the Rainbow is the authentic designer. This is the cover. That's as far as I've gotten so far. Scrap piece of fabric, the perfect size. Maybe not the best color. So the back, the front is fully stitched, the back is not. And I'm debating where I'm going to go with that decision. So that's why that one has not been worked on. But there's the pages to work on, and this is where I'm at, and it hasn't changed. Sorry, it has changed. I finished the last color of purple and realized this glob of purple is over too far that way. And so I had to fudge it. I still need to do the back stitching, and I started to do the back stitching of the words, the edible but yuck. And then I had to rip it out because both times I started it in the wrong place. So you won't, I mean, 10 stitches is really all that I got accomplished on this one. Yeah. That one may or may not go downstairs. Okay, now we're on to the BAP. Two of them we got today, which is pretty normal. I don't think that Inner Depths was worked on since my last video, and really it's just a lot of background. There's nothing exciting to see yet. So we're getting there. We're getting there. This one is also going to be background, so nothing exciting happening yet. But I still want to show you all. This is header artwork by Omri Koresh, kitted up and charted by Gecko Rouge. And here's what it's supposed to look like. And here's where it was when you last saw it. And here's where it's at now. And I am working my way up the pattern. I had started in the bottom center to get myself aligned, and now I'm going left to right, reverse typewriter style, because that has always been my preference. Yeah. And so now I'm over here and filling in all of this confetti. So many ninja stitches. And I'm trying to get up to that line there, all filled in. And then get over to some easier stitching. And then into space. Easy. And then background again. But yeah. This one has actually gotten pretty good progress. I mean, I think this is about 40-something% finished now. So, yeah, keep plugging away at it. It'll get finished. And it's Speaking of which, my other BAP. If you don't know what a BAP is, it's a big project. And this is Stitching Shelf by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. All of my full coverage designs are stitched 25 count. Antique White Lugana, 2/1 half cross. This is where it was when you last saw it. And here's where we're at now. It's working on the bottom shelf. I started it in the top center, and I worked quite a bit on the spring shelf, and then after about 9 months of that, I decided to work my way down. So had been working on autumn, now I'm working in winter, and I've been working in this side here, doing a lot of confetti, filling in. Not exactly typewriter style, but same idea, just coming down. Just filling it in. Maybe if I move the needle minder out of the way, you can see it better. There you go. I started this in August of 2022 for World Cross Stitch Day, and I started it with Kim from Stitch and Stuff and Carolyn Zook from Zook Stitches, and there's a Facebook group which is going to be linked below. Yeah. So, I think that's all of the whips. That's everything that I worked on for the month of August. I know that I have to work on a couple of things. One thing that I try to work on every month is the Simplicity, Vintage Simplicity kit that I have from Dimensions, and I do try to work on that once a month, so I'll be pulling that one out pretty soon. I usually try to work on it on the second Sunday, but I'm pretty sure I didn't work on it last Sunday, so I should pull it out for tonight. Other than that, plans are pretty loose. I just, I have some things that I need to finish, but yeah, I just want them out of my hair, some of them. So, I should be taking Comet and Cassiopeia and Simplicity downstairs so that it's there and I will pick it up and work on it. Now, back to my last video, I had pulled out a bunch of kits and talked about how I wanted something to stitch in my new camper, the new to me camper. It is not a new camper, by no means. So, I'm just gonna tidy up a little bit, grab you the top picks, and we'll run through them quickly. Okay, so these are the top picks for what I should start next. Well, not next exactly, but what I should work on in my camper when we decide to start using it. And the top pick, which I knew this was going to be number one, is the anniversary sampler. We had 6 votes for this as of the last time I tallied. And yeah, so that is definitely going in the camper when we start. Yeah, there's the floss. There's the fabric. This is silk by Silks for You. I may swap that out. May. My prerogative, right? The next few votes. These have 3 votes, and one of them I'm confused about. But this is the Bee by the Drawn Thread. This had 3 votes. And Butterflies by Filigram also had 3 votes. And then Dragonfly Sampler. And here's where I'm confused, because I have 2 Dragonfly samplers. One is by Filigram, and the other one is by Midnight Stitching. And here's a fun fact. I know the person who stitched this model. It gives her credit on the back, and I am her buddy. So those all had 3 votes. The Dragonfly, I'm just gonna say it was for both of those. So I put them all in the same project bag, because why not? The bug stitches. I should make a buggy bag for this. And the Bee. Now the Bee may have been a little bit ambiguous as well, because I also have this Bee sampler, and it's gorgeous. So this one, the Drawn Thread one or that one, I'm not sure. And there again, I should put them both in the same bag, because it's a Bee bag. I may, yeah. So I'm going to put those 2 Bee samplers together, I think, in that bag. Yeah, the other, these all had 1 or 2 votes anyways. So honorable mentions: the Beaver by Cottage Garden. And we have the Welcome sampler by Marnik Designs. Sunflower Welcome. And we have the Chicken Pincushion Needle Nanny and Scissor Fob. Fun fact, I know I'm a buddy also of the designer of Twisted Oaks Designs and the model stitcher. So that, and Alice, of course. I mean, we have to have something Alice in the camper, right? So I definitely, it got a vote too. So, and of course, there's always my prerogative, right? I still think that I might put that kit for the Girl in Blue, Girl with a Flower or something like that. That one might end up in there as well. So those are the ones for sure are going to be put aside for camper stitching. But I can work on them whenever. wherever. Because right now, camper is, we're not doing that this year. So I may want to start those earlier than next summer. So that's where we're at with that. Yeah. Haul. Okay. I got one little bit of haul. And it is fabric and chart. She did offer to include the threads, but I told her I don't need the threads. So this was off a Stash and Load. It is the Rose Wings chart by Just Nan. Yeah, it was a cute little chart, and I probably would have bought more, but I held back. Yeah, so that is so fun fact, same people that I mentioned, also one of them for sure, the model stitcher for the chicken, she also stitched this. And it was all started at the same time. It was Sal, a peacock Sal. And yeah, so I still have the kit. I'm a hoarder. I'm a bad hoarder. And I still have the floss in here, the original chart. But what else I have is, this is what I used for that particular pattern for all of the blends. I had mentioned I'm working on another Teresa Wentzler, the English Garden Welcome Sampler. And I haven't done this yet, but because I'm a hoarder, I still had the one that I made for the peacock sampler. And I thought I would show it to you so that you can visualize what I was talking about. And this is actually something that my youngest sister that you have not met yet, she had told me this. I'm not sure where she got it from, but to deal with the Teresa Wentzler blends, my tips are to cut all of your threads to the same length. That way when you're pulling them, then you match them, you don't have to trim a little bit off and so on. Because I used the kit, it was already pre-cut, so when I matched them up, I would start stitching with basically half of it through the other side of the fabric, parked over to the side so that you can rethread it, and then start stitching from that area. Like if you park it in the middle, work this way, and then work the rest of it that way. That may not be clear, but anyways, if you don't have enough stitches to work all of your thread and you need to take it, finish your thread, get it off the needle, you don't want to throw a lot of it away because some of it is, you got good length still left, but the symbol is like all the way across the page. All that to say, scrap piece of fabric, draw on the symbol, and put on your leftover blended thread. And then if you need to pick up that symbol again, there you go. Yeah. So that's how I do it. this is more for when I didn't park my threads, but now if you were to look at my welcome sampler, which I'll just throw a picture here, you will see that I park my threads, and that's why I don't have a scrap like this in with English Garden Welcome. But it's not to say it won't happen. So now I will get the actual masterpiece over here and bring it forward and show you. Okay, so we'll see how this works. This Q-snap piece is not quite long enough, and I don't have a dowel long enough. Just this I thought would make it easier. So yeah, this is in my been a shame it's not framed box, which I know I'm not alone. There are other under the bed boxes out there. So yeah, I stitched this in 2006. I did sign it. Look at that. Pretty sure that's a 6. Might be an 8, but I'm pretty sure it's a 6. Yep. I was pretty monogamous back then too. But yeah. Half stitches, one strand, multiple strands, and blending filament, which I don't think is showing up, but there is some in the tail there, and the border, those fantastic borders that she has. Yep. So eventually this will get a frame and well, potentially be on the wall. I will hang this back up there just so that it will get some appreciation. Might be a different one next time, might be the same one. Those are still there because they are shaming me. Yeah, I need to finish those. I need to follow through with something for those. That's also a finish that I didn't share, but I will share it another time because I don't think it's completely finished. So I don't want you to look too closely. So yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm gonna end it here now, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and like, share, subscribe, all that stuff, and we'll see you next time, which will be, I'm thinking 3 weeks, because I have family coming in 2 weeks, so I don't think I'll be available to share my stitching with you. So I'm gonna go now and clean this up and try to get it uploaded before my husband moves the dish. Bye.